Guess so.
Well, hello there. I'm Ahura Z, and welcome to Ask the Unicorn. Ask the Unicorn. Ask the Unicorn. Right now, there's a blanket of questions. You can ask any question you want to for absolutely free. That's right. There's no charge. No charge at all. All you have to do is ask a question. I'll give you an answer.
Today's June 3rd, 2015, and this is episode 72.
Okay. Welcome to Ask the Unicorn. I'm Ahura Z, and this is Ghazi. And we are, the reason I did that is because we went to the furniture superstore yesterday, and it was more like the furniture lane store. But I remember the commercial, so I just had to do that. Well, okay, getting on with things. The name of the show is Ask the Unicorn for those of you that are just joining us, and I will answer any question that you have regarding the metaphysical, the spiritual, the paranormal, and the mystical. That's right. Any question that you have, I will answer. However, I do not answer two types of questions: whether or not someone is going to die, or whether or not someone is cheating on someone. If you want to know about those things, you need to deal with the person that you're asking the question about. We will deal with many paranormal issues that involve psychic development, psychic experience, paranormal experiences, mystical experience, spiritual experience, etc., 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 etc. That is also including things like cryptozoology, or what they call cryptozoology, and other things like that. Now, before we begin, I'd like to give my shout out to all of the independent filmmakers that are in the New England area. Myself and others that are friends of mine, such as Bill McLean, Paco Seth Roberts, Alan Dillingham, just to name a few. And yes, I'm name dropping. Yes, I know these people. They're very important people, and I know them, and they know me. So there's some great movies that are coming out. We did go see Mad Max. I would not recommend it. I mean, if you're studying the effects and the cinematography, I would say okay.
They did Crazy pretty good.
They did Crazy really, really good, but they so went away from the story that it was almost pointless. They should have called it Mad Maxine. Well, she wasn't really mad, though. She was actually quite sane.
Yeah,
it was kind of one of those stories.
Feminist.
Yeah, men are bad.
A little too much girl power for me.
Men are bad. No matter what, all men are bad.
Male bashing, except for Mad Max. He's okay because he's mad and doesn't speak much and just looks. Gives you the
does all of the really hard stuff.
Gives you the crazy eyeball and grunts. Yeah, Mad Max. Yeah.
I'm sorry, nobody did Mad Max like Mel Gibson.
That's because he's truly mad.
They could have used Hugh Jackman. He would have done it. He would have did it.
He does. You think he
does
can
crazy
go mad?
well, especially with that laugh he has.
That's dorky, really well.
Anyway.
How is Chappie? You saw Chappie.
That's right. I saw Chappie, and Chappie was made by the people who made District 9.
You were waiting for that.
And it was actually pretty good. Chappie was very, very good. The whatever they did, however they did the robot stuff, with him. It was pretty excellent.
Hugh Jackman and a robot again.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman was in that movie. He had a weird haircut. But
was he opposite the robot?
Yeah, he was the bad guy. Hugh Jackman was the bad guy. But he doesn't do bad guy well. I'm sorry, he just doesn't. But Chappie was very good. I recommend you seeing it. For those of you that missed it in the theaters, it's now on Xbox Video. You could get it that way. I'm also looking for San Andreas with The Rock, of course. The Rock being The Rock, I'm pretty sure. Although the casting is a little questionable, but hey, it's Hollywood. What do you want?
That girl is not his daughter. She's too not.
Doesn't matter.
Fair. She's very fair. And being diplomatic.
And so are you. You're a lot fairer than I am.
Yes, but
well, you're not blue-eyed.
No, it's true. I'm not blue-eyed.
But all the same, I think there's going to be a pretty good movie. I haven't really seen much of anything else that I wanted to see. Many of the movies that are out now, especially when they have to do with paranormal things, have, shaky cam and they're pretty crappy. And they always have the same thing. Like we watched this one movie. I watched this one movie and I can't even remember the name of it. It's so bad.
Which one? The
Yeah.
Flick San Andreas?
No, not that one. That one's actually
The
okay.
one with Danny Trejo?
Yeah, with Danny Trejo. And Danny Trejo is Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo's awesome. But it had Tilk in it. And Tilk was the black police officer that came in and he got killed almost instantly.
First.
He didn't have anything to do with the story. It's just, okay, we got to kill a black guy.
We needed to have a cameo.
Which is like,
black guy to kill.
what? They really seriously need to stop that stuff because it's old, it's stupid, it makes no sense, and it only shows racism. It just does. I don't care what anyone says. That's a very racist thing to do, Well, we've got this whole story happening, but we haven't killed a black guy yet. What the hell? That's enough. First off, brothers like me would not be in that situation. And I'm only part brother, so there. We would not be in the woods, out there. The moment that we heard something that went, we're gone. Period. Out. Done.
You guys don't go into the woods, period.
Yeah, I do. What do you mean? I go into the woods. We go into the woods. We're just not stupid. We don't go into the woods without packing heat. Anyway.
Sorry, I was reading a shout out. We have a shout out from a Stephanie. She says, hello, it's Stephanie.
Hi, Steph.
I'm watching for the first time live. Pretty cool.
Okay. Wait a minute. Speaking of, this is Stephanie Mostowski Kanan. I hope I said that right. And she is a very, very, very old friend of mine. Very, very, very old. She was my best friend. She was my best friend. And she got me in, she's the one who was responsible for getting me involved in belly dance many, many, many moons ago when I was beautiful. However, she's a very wonderful person. She's doing some very important healing work that we're going to talk about next week. She'll be on the show.
She will?
Yes, she will. She will be on the show, and she will be talking about her healing technique. She's always had a very calm, very soothing spirit. When I knew her, I was a very raging person.
Was?
And she was the one person that actually could calm me down.
Wow, you need to come by.
No, I'm still raging, but I'm
still
just
raging.
I'm not raging pointlessly. I rage just about everything. This is coffee. Just like
Rage.
I raged against the machine and those things that were not the machine. But yeah, she was a very calming spirit, and she's still a very calming spirit. I think that you all will enjoy her. She was my best friend, and I still consider her that, but we just lived really far away from each other, and it had been like 20-something years since we'd spoken to each other. We just recently hooked up and started speaking again.
Yeah, because he was afraid she was going to be mad at him for leaving. No, he was like, oh, I know she's mad at me for not saying anything or for leaving. But I told them I was leaving.
Nobody believed me.
Nobody believed me.
But you'll all enjoy the experience she has. Okay. Now, all of that being said, the unicorn is in. I'm listening. What have you got?
Colleen says, hi, first timer here. Can you tell me who my guardian angel is?
That is between you and your guardian angel. I can't tell you that. I can tell you that you do have a guardian angel. Okay. This is the thing that people don't understand about such things. When you go to someone and they tell you this is your guardian angel, only your guardian angel is going to tell you who they are. They can tell you that you have one, and I can probably even see it. And from here, I can definitely say that you have a few. However, what their names are isn't for me. There are so many thousands of millions upon trillions of guardian angels. I can tell you their nature. I can tell you that yours is green. Well, actually emits a vibrational frequency field that's very, very green. And that would have to do with you, which would mean that you were probably in probably the most important thing to you is your relationship. And that's what that particular guardian is trying, whatever relationship you have, that particular guardian is standing there to teach you about it. So it has to do with relationships and also your own fertility of mind and spirit. Okay, so that part I can tell you, and it's a principle type of a guardian. Like you have to understand that guardian can be a lot of things. In your case, it's a principle that is residing and is your benefactor or advocate. We'll put it that way. We have this picture of a guardian angel that is like armor clad, wielding a big fiery sword and shield and standing guard, you know, and that's pretty cool. Sometimes they're just not that. Sometimes they are just very matter of fact, and other times they're very principled, and just their sheer presence is enough to shield you from anything and anyone. So we need to perhaps talk to your guardian angel and find out what your guardian angel's name is. And I would suggest that highly if you have to have a name for your guardian angel, or it's not really. Understand that it's this way. It is that particular principal angel that chooses to guard and protect you. They are not responsible for guarding you. They choose to do that because that's what you need.
Oh, I thought they got assigned to you.
Well, they do get assigned, but it's still their choice. We have some illusion that angels don't have free will. Wrong. I'm sorry. Did I just challenge the whole religious order? I just did, didn't I? I'm sorry. Angels do actually have a choice. Yes, they do. They choose. See, they have a will. It was given to them, the same as our will is given to us. And it's great what you've read. I'm not trying to dispute all of that. I'm only telling you the truth here. They do have a choice. Otherwise, they would have been no fallen angels because they wouldn't have had a choice. Just so you know. Okay, these angels choose to guard and protect you, probably because they are you.
That would make sense why mine look like that.
So I hope that paints a different picture. They are you, and you are them. That will take me into a whole dimensional
Do it.
thing. No, because I have some other things that I want to talk about. I will go back to your question. There's some things I want to talk about. There's one other thing that we will be covering tonight, and I'll get to that in a moment. What's the question?
It's from Stephanie. She says, can you tell us how you protect yourself so you do not take on other people's energy, especially during body work?
Okay. Yes, I will, as a matter of fact. I was asked this question before, and this is the best way for me to explain it. Remember, those of you that have been following the show, I've taught about universal exchange and what has to happen when you are performing something or doing something or you receive something from someone. There always has to be an exchange. No matter what, there must be an exchange. If you receive something physical from someone, you need to give them something physical. Okay? If you give someone something physical, you need to get something back. If you give someone something energetically, you need to get something back. If you take an energy from someone, you must put something back. If you ask for something to come to you, you must ask for something to go away. This is just the way that it is. This is the giant anything box that the universe is. Okay. Now, when it comes to healing work, there are us individuals that focus the energy through ourselves in order to heal other people. This is what happens. It's the same as in prayer. When you intercede on behalf of someone, and that's what you're doing when you're doing healing, you are putting yourself between that person and harm. You are effectively saying, I'm going to help you get rid of this energy that is befuddling your life, that is causing you this dis-ease. Okay? So you proceed to do your work. This is what we oftentimes forget. We forget to protect ourselves first. Remember, you are asking for the power of healing. That means that you need to banish pain, not only from you, You need to banish pain and disease, not only from you, but you need to banish pain and disease from the person that you are working on. Okay? You set your energy to do things. You have to get rid of all of that negativity. You have to get rid of all of that problem that is causing them. And remember, you're leaving an empty space. You have just exercised something from someone's body and from someone's mind, which means that there's an energy that is out there that has been kicked out of its host, that is looking for another host. And guess who the nearest person is? Yes, that's right. You guessed it. Which means that you need to protect yourself first. Eventually, this is what happens with any disease that leaves the body. It will go back to where energy is, and it will be transformed, renewed, rearranged, all of that good stuff. But until it does that, you have to protect you, and you have to protect that person. This is how important it is to know what you're doing when you're healing someone. You can have the thought, you can have the desire, you can have just the sheer love of people to want to fix them, to heal them, to take their pain away from them. But you've got to think first. So this is what I do. Most Holy Father, Divine Mother in heaven, I know is Elohim, Yahweh, Adonai, Allah, Jehovah, El Shaddai, Ahura Mazda. I come before you in the name and nature of the Christ I know is Jesus. And I ask that darkness, negativity, and evil be banished from me, and banished from my dwelling place, and banished from this person. Now, this is what I do. I'm only giving you an illustration here. Okay, so if these words work for you, fine. But they may be said, they may not be said. I cast out all darkness, all negativity, and all evil. And now I guard, protect, and shield myself against all forms of attack, against all forms of psychic attack, against all forms of energy attack, whether they be physical, mental, emotional, astral, etheric, spirit, thought, soul, financial, or health forms. I cast them out, and I guard, protect, and shield myself against them. Now, let's get to work. Okay? And then I begin my energetic work and my thoughts on the inside of my head that keep going. Because remember, there are two forces out there. One of them wants to support you and help. One of them wants to guard, protect, and it wants to drive that thing out. But there's another one that wants to interfere with the whole healing process. And that's a reality. Whether we choose to believe it or not, it is a reality. And that is what we do battle against when we're helping people, when we're healing people. Okay? So you cast that energy out. And then you have to give that person space to heal, which means that you've got to put something back in. And what you need to put back in is all of that positive energy that comes through you to heal them. You cannot have any doubt. You cannot have any fear. You cannot have any worry. You cannot do your job out of worry or fear. It will destroy you and most likely destroy them. So yes, I protect myself first. I always protect myself first. The whole idea is for me to be spell-proof, for me to be danger-proof, for me to be darkness-proof or negativity or evil-proof or psychic attack-proof. And remember, it is a psychic attack because what affects your mind will affect the body. Okay? So you protect your mind, you guard your mind. People do all forms of meditation. That's good. That's good. It's really good, but you have to understand something. Life is not just about meditation. You have to meditate, and then you have to do something. And that's something that I learned that, you know, I learned that so long ago. I mean, just understanding when you hear things such as faith without works is dead. What it basically means is you can sit around and contemplate life all you want to, and you can sit and you know, have all of the faith that you want to, but you got to do something. You got to do something that causes that faith or causes that energy to be focused through and create something or fix something. And then once that person is fixed and once that person is healed and once that person is receiving the energy that you are there to give them, you are supposed to give them a set of rules. And you say, listen, this is what you need to do to keep your healing going, to keep that energy moving on the inside of you. You give them a set of rules. You know what they are. You can tell them, listen, you did this before. That didn't work for you. That caused you to get sick. So we don't need to do that anymore. anymore. Okay? We don't need to be found around other people that are doing that either. That way, you're still guarding and protecting yourself. Remember, until that energy that you just got out is dissipating, remember, it's a process. So you may have to do some things again, or you may have to do something in a further progression. But until that energy dissipates and goes to where it needs to go, you've got to hold focus. You have to hold focus. It's not for that other person to hold focus. It is for you, the healer, to hold focus and understand that from this point, what you need to do is separate yourself from that energy that you just kicked out. So afterwards, after that's done, I do a cleansing process, okay, to get rid of it. And I hold the thought, knowing that that energy can jump on me at any point in time. And I don't need that. I don't want that. So I guard, protect, and shield myself even further. Remember, before healing, be vigilant. During and after healing, be even more vigilant. Kind of like before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. It works exactly that way. I hope that helps you. What else have you got for me?
Colleen says, in response to the guardian angel, and so she says, green is good, and no, I was thinking it was family, she says.
Same thing.
And Stephanie says, good one, we forget to protect ourselves first.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, good. I like questions like that. One of the things that I wanted to speak about a little bit is, it was called to my attention. I knew about this for quite some time. There are certain people that have experienced a phenomenon that I have learned is called gang stalking, or these are people that have deemed themselves targeted individuals. And I want to talk a little bit about that because I've come across some serious cases of it. And these are people who know that they're being followed, know that they're being watched, and feel as though their minds and their lives are being manipulated and controlled and to some degree ruined. Now, I've spoken to a few people. I've actually researched this at great length, and I know that when the people are telling you they feel as though they're being, someone is following them and manipulating their life. True, we have to look on the rational end and say, well, that maybe they just feel that way. But I've come to know that some paranoia is just a heightened state of awareness, and these people are really experiencing what it is that they're experiencing. We see movies all the time of someone being having their whole life turned upside down by some unknown force or some group of people that they don't understand. Now, I've watched some of the videos of these people that have experienced gang stalking and just reading the energy of these people, they are truly scared. It would be one thing to be delusional, but this is real terror that's happening. I myself, people can follow me all over the place. It wouldn't faze me one bit. I might turn around and dance for them, but when you got a person that feels as though they're being targeted, the worst thing that you can do to them is just shut them down and tell them that you don't believe them. That's not fair at all, because some of these people are really being targeted, and this is just the truth. Their lives have been pretty much hacked. They've got groups of people that are, for some reason, organized enough to be wherever they go. Like when you get someone that you see this person that's hanging out on the corner, and then you go to a supermarket and that same person is there just hanging out a little further away from where you could see them normally. And then you go to a movie theater and that same person is there. Okay, the first two, okay, coincidence. The third one, okay, that's kind of funny. But then when you leave your house every day at a certain time and you see this individual, and then you notice that individual with a coffee cup, and then you don't notice that individual on a certain day, and all of a sudden that coffee cup is in front of your yard, there's a problem.
Oh, there's a fight.
Okay, that's a problem. okay? Or you see a certain number of cars that all look the same, and the person in the cars, each one of the cars that all look the same, look at you. You know, that's some form of organization. Now, there's some people that have told stories of how their whole lives have been absolutely ruined. They've had everything taken from them. They've had people that have turned against them, and they suspect mind control, which is something that our particular country has experimented with, and we all know that. That's not a conspiracy, it's just a fact. You kind of have to listen to these people and understand that there are factions that will go to no short length to ruin people. Now, the question that I have for them all is why? Why do they think that they're being targeted? Is there anything that would cause someone to want to target them? You know, to do something for them, or do something against them, or do something about them, and that would lead you into some pretty far-fetched things, but there are considerations. What if? Let's just do a kind of a hypothesis. It's a hypothetical situation here. What if someone had discovered a way to jump from one point of time to another? Now, understanding we've had discussions about time travel and all of that good stuff, and some of the things that have been experimented with that were just remarkable failures. But remember, remarkable failure always precedes remarkable success. And just because we don't know about it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. What if there were people that you knew, that were meant to do some wonderful and great things, but by circumventing them, they cause them to miss the opportunity to do those wonderful things in order to manipulate an outcome in the future. For instance, there are lots of people that know what their destiny is. Lots of people do know what their destiny is. They're meant for this particular thing, and they know that. But then something comes along and totally knocks them off of their path. Or someone comes along and totally just makes it so that they miss an opportunity. Do you know even your destiny can be stolen from you? Something that was meant for you in life can be taken from you if someone knows the way to do it.
Isn't that why they were doing the time traveling purpose? Why the government was doing the...
Oh, definitely. You can manipulate. The thing about time travel is you can't manipulate big things. No, the Philadelphia. You can't manipulate big things. If you try to manipulate big things, you cause a really big cataclysm. However, you can manipulate small things. It's kind of like this. Let's say that these, you can't. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see this. I'll just bring them back a little bit. Okay. Okay. No. I need that. Okay. Why not take the phone too?
Okay.
Okay. So let's say that in a timeline, any timeline at all, there are all of these wonderful objects, and these objects are events, things within this society. If you found a way to jump back through time, if you found a way to go back in time, and you wanted to change something, you cannot change something big. You can't take this off. Why? Because let's say that there's a universal mind that is this whole earth. Okay, and that universal mind would miss something if you took it. And time is a mind. Let's just say the time is sentient. And it makes sense because everything that there is sentient. Only sentience can support sentience. What we understand to be time is just a distraction. Someone made up our timelines in order to distract us from understanding what time really is. Let's just say that you can't go back and you can't take this because it's really too big and it would cause a massive vacuum which could destroy a lot of things. You can't take this because it stands out. You can't really take this because it's totally functional and too many people have their mind focused on it, the energy that this represents. Too many people are there. You can't really take this because then your utility would be gone and it would cause people to shut down, which basically means that it would cause an irreparable flux in time. this is what you can take. Now, you're thinking, well, what's left? The coffee cup, right? No, no, no.
Spoon.
You can take that. You can change the spoon. You may not be able to take it entirely, but you could change its color, you could change its size, and you could change its shape so that what is called a spoon is no longer called a spoon. It's called a spork, okay?
Spork.
You can do that. Kind of like, you know that a certain word is spelled a certain way, and you learned that word and you knew that it was right. You were told that it was right when you were younger, but all of a sudden that word has changed its spelling and there's no record of it being spelled that other way. Like that. Something so small can be changed. Something like that can be taken away. It's the same as in dreams. Listen, your dreams are nothing but another timeline. Do you understand? They are only a dimensional timeline. Your dreams are just as real as this. It's just that they're in a different speed, okay? A different speed, a different vibration, a different timeline. But they all do lead to the point, which is you now. If you have a dream of something, and you can remember what it is that you were even wearing, you may not change the fact that there's a giant monster that is coming after you. Well, you can, if you can remember this. There's an event that is coming after you that you really don't want to have, but you remember what it was that you wore in that. Does that mean for you to change your clothes entirely? No. It means to take an article of your clothing and do away with it so that it is no longer part of your energy. Then you will change the outcome. That means that you'll have to deal with another outcome, but all the same, you will change that outcome. It's the same with time. If you go back in time, even in your mind, go back in time and change something, change an event that took place, your outcome now will change. That is just the way that it is. However, you can't change something big. You can't. You just can't. It's already set. It is now it's just an echo. But you can't go back. And all of that, going back to talk to yourself as a younger person.
Yeah.
I have news for you people.
You can do it.
Well, of course you can. You can do it. But there's a specific way to do it.
How?
If you're thinking about jumping into a TARDIS and going
yes.
back, that's exactly.
I'm thinking DeLorean or TARDIS, time machine,
but
hot tub.
It does work vibrationally. It's just that you have to find the correct equation. Remember, on a certain day and a certain time, something happened. Certain days, certain times, certain atmospheres, certain point of even the air, the molecular structure of the air, where that is a snapshot. And you can find that snapshot. If you find that snapshot, you can go back.
How would you know that when you came back? How would you know that you were successful in changing something, a split decision that you made during that time when you should have taken a right?
Well, you would know. You would know. And it isn't as simple as taking a right or a left.
Yeah,
it's like
I'm saying,
what you were thinking when you took the left or right. Like, you could still take the left, but what were you thinking? Okay? In other words, let's just say that if I went back and I was going to say, I'm going to get you blue glasses instead of red glasses. Okay? That might have worked, but it will work a lot better if I got you blue glasses that were mostly red, just had an inflection of blue, as opposed to all the way blue, because you wouldn't take that.
You're right.
Yeah, you wouldn't accept that, but you would accept it if they were mostly red and had a little blue in it.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. You can't take all of this, but you can take that, and that will affect everything. It's a long explanation, really long explanation. However, it does work that way.
I have a specific question about that.
Okay.
But I'll talk to you later about it. There are no questions.
If there are no questions, are you guys just willing to sit here and listen to me rant like a mad scientist?
Traveling.
That was what one of the scientists that I do like actually said. He said, "You're a pure scientist." And I probably am, just a little mad.
What about you're talking about all the clocks in a hallway? Would
Oh,
be
well, that's
in a
the whole
hall
thing.
would be
That's how you
forward.
find a time stream. You can't find a time stream without using linear time. Linear time is only part of it. Linear time is, everything is focused on linear time. And because everything is focused on linear time, it's a huge distraction. It's like looking at the finger and missing all of the heavenly glory. That's what it is, literally. You know, it's like looking at the finger. Okay, watch the finger. That's linear time. That is linear time. Because if you're following linear time, you're not following anything else, which basically means that you have trapped yourself into an existence that says you have to live by linear time. You have to do every single thing by linear time. And linear time is a failure. Okay? It doesn't work. It just doesn't. First off, this Earth is supposed to be 360 degrees round, which basically means that there are 360 days to a year. That is the way that it's supposed to do. However, we're off of our axis, which causes us to wobble. And because we wobble, we're actually a lot more. It turned into 365 degrees, or 365 days in a year, which basically makes absolutely no sense, even astrologically, because there should be only 30 days to each month. But there's like 28 and some, and there's 29 and something, there's 31 and some, and there's only 30 and some. So whoever decided to keep people trapped in that linear time knew exactly what they were doing. And then daylight saving time makes no damn sense at all. What are you saving for? It makes no sense. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It only works if you're trying to keep people not seeing something or looking at the linear time instead of looking at what time actually is. Now, mystics have always known this. Even philosophers know this. Artists know this.
That's why it was so strange.
Some scientists knew this, but they're not going to tell you they know that. They'd rather, have you focus on the fact that water is wet. Or if you mix Mentos and Coke, that's science. Okay. What were you saying?
I was saying that's why it was really quite unique about living in Hawaii on Oahu, that when I got there, we didn't have to do daylight savings time. They looked at me like, what are you talking about? We don't do that here.
Yeah, but look what's happening to Hawaii now.
What?
They're pretty much trying to destroy the spirit of Hawaii by doing really nutsy cuckoo things with it. Building a giant telescope on a sacred mountain. You don't do that. They did the same thing in Utah with the Indian burial ground. They shouldn't have been violated. There was a tornado that day when they did that. I was there. You don't do certain things. Now they're trying to totally domesticate. I mean, we've already subjugated it, but now they're trying to totally domesticate Hawaii and make it like what? Utah. I mean, just think about it for a second. We have been so totally and drastically distracted that many of us scarcely see the workings of the universe. And then when we do find the workings of the universe, there are things that come along to try to distract us again. Like this whole synchronicity thing. Understand this, synchronicity is a real thing. And if you step into the synchronicity of the universe, you'll find some amazing things that happen. Now, is stepping into the synchronicity enough? No. You have to stay in the synchronicity. You have to follow it. Follow the terms of synchronicity. It will lead you to do some pretty adventurous things. Whether you like to admit it or not, a lot of us have been tricked into believing that we have things that we have to do, or there's things that need to be done. There are things that do need to be done. Only if it is going to bring about your development as a human being, your development as a spiritual being. It's kind of like this. If you follow the synchronicity of the universe, a lot of times what will happen is things will happen just like this. They'll just happen on the fly. You'll have to move with the current. You have the idea, but you need to move with the current and just allow what is there to come out. You ever been to a church, and I'm sure many of you have, and you watch the minister open his Bible or whatever, and there's all these notes in the Bible, and he has to shift through to find the next thing that he's going to say. That's not synchronicity. That's rehearsed. That's called, I'm not really sure what the hell it is that I'm saying, but I'm going to go to this because I'm going to go to this and I'm going to go to this. So, wouldn't it be a lot better if you just allowed the universe to say what it has to say? If you're standing up there on your pulpit, and I'll direct this to ministers, okay? All of you that are out there that may see this at some point in time. Listen, it would work a lot better if you just allowed the God that is within you or the goddess that is within you to speak. You don't need your notes. Your notes are going to do absolutely no good for you. All they're going to do is teach people to be distracted, to look at the book and expecting that book to heal them. There are things that are in that book as if they learn them, that would heal them. There are prayers within that book that work if they learn them. But it's not the book that heals them. It's not your writings that are going to teach anybody anything. They might be able to, if they learn, they can learn some things, they can have some things. But listen, if you're a minister, your job is to stand there and be the very anchor of the universe. You are the representative of God themselves, which basically means that I'm sure that God didn't have like an instruction booklet when he was like, building the world. If she was building the world, they were like, well, we've got to, let's see, I'm going to create, light. Yes, light.
On their iTouch, on their Galaxy Note Infinity.
We're going to create light. And the word. No, it didn't work that way. Remember, you are supposed to allow yourself to be able to communicate with the Holy Spirit so that the Holy Spirit can tell you what to say. And then say what it tells you to say. Yeah, you may fumble a little bit. Okay. It's okay. It's all right. I'm sure that you'll get it after a while. But if we all acted in concordance with the universe, we would let go of a lot of things. First off, about 10 of those thou shalt nots would be a little different. Because I'm sure it was thou shalt not, and then this is what thou shalt. So what we need to do is revise what it is that we think about time and synchronicity, because synchronicity is real. It just is. And you can coordinate all of yourselves. You can talk with other points of yourselves and they will lend you a hand.
Isn't that like talking to your doppelganger?
Well, it's not. Yeah, it is. Exactly that. But it's not talking to your doppelganger like right here. It's talking to your doppelganger in a different dimension.
You physically see be in the same presence as your doppelganger.
No, you cannot.
Physically, because then you're
you can be in the same presence, but if you two contact, there's a problem. Well, yes, a lot of these sci-fi things that I'm saying to you are actually science reality, if you want to call it that, or just present reality. I know that science likes to put its stamp on every single thing, like even baking, the science of baking. There's science to baking. Baking is an art. There's a technique, if you want to call that science. Okay, that's fine. But we need to actually step into a new type of a phase. If you want to be a part of universal synchronicity, just be there and then flow with it. Go with it. There's lots of sayings that we come up with, like let go, let God, but did anybody ever ask let God what?
I always wondered that. Let go and let God what?
Let God what? You can't just sit around and make empty platitudes and empty really cool statements and then post them on Facebook thinking that makes you sound really philosophical and cool and everything, but you haven't told anybody what? Let God what? Down. Back over there. Okay? Let God move through you and be creative. Be free enough to do the things that you wanted to do in your life. Be steadfast enough to keep a promise to yourself. No, we put like really bad constraints on ourselves, like feel guilty, feel responsible for other people's plights, stuff like that. Do something that we don't want to do, like go to family gatherings, you know, Christmas dinner, where nobody gets along, but everybody's there. You know, there's about an hour and a half of getting along. At that point, this is what you do. Once that hour and a half is gone, you say, okay, time to go. It was wonderful seeing everybody. Bye. And be okay with that. But no, there's so many people that say, well, you know, it's a responsibility. No, it's not. No, it's not. Someone made it up. Okay? Someone made it up that just to distract you. So, how to keep yourself out of synchronicity? Focus on the distraction. How to keep yourself into synchronicity? Go with the moment that is there. It will lead you. Okay? That doesn't mean throw away all of the things that you have to do. What it basically means is that if you have something set in your mind and the opportunity comes, don't sit there and wonder why it came so easy. Just take it and then go with it, and it will lead you to another moment of synchronicity, which will lead you to another moment of synchronicity, which will lead you to another moment of synchronicity, and then all of yourselves will be responding and talking with one another, and you'll get what it is that you're looking for. But you have to be responsive. I see it happen lots of times where a person, what it is that a person wants is right there, but they say nothing. So of course, I have to remind them. Didn't you say you wanted this? Well, yeah, I did. Well, there it is. Yeah, but I got this. No. You need this right now. Okay, time is wasting. Your doorway is closing. It's closing, 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 closed. This is just how it is. Try to put people in synchronicity forever. And you know something? I just decided to put myself in synchronicity moments and do my best to stay there. You know, I can't say that I'm perfect at it, but I'm getting there. It's like a video game. You know, I love video games, and synchronicity is a video game to me. You know, so I have to find the next goal. I'm earning XP.
I said I like video games.
Yeah, Ozzy likes peanut butter too, and jelly.
I love peanut butter jelly time.
Is there any other questions at all?
No questions.
No questions?
Oh wait, sorry. Tony has a question, but
Okay.
it doesn't have to do with. All right. Random other question. He says, I remember a long time ago I met someone who had eyes that when they caught the light they were yellow. I've never seen that before and I haven't seen it since. Is it that just a quirk or is it significant?
There are different expressions and different attributes.
His eyes turn blue sometimes.
Yeah, that's really freaky.
And when they do, it's because he's on doing something dimensionally.
Yeah, usually. And yes, it does happen for reals.
Mhm.
It's not a joke. It's not make believe. It does happen.
Yep.
Yeah, it just depends on what energy that person had going through them at the moment. Any other questions whatsoever? Listen, you can ask your questions. I don't mind any questions at all. If you'd like to talk to us, you can give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. This is live. Or you can contact us at www.asktheunicorn.com. For those of you that would like to learn more about metaphysics and paranormality and these crazy things that I'm talking about, I do teach classes. I do not teach for free. And for all of you skeptics that are out there to say, well, you know, you're just taking money from people, whatever. Say what you want to say. I really don't care. A lot of these people are associated with that really old guy that is a has-been prestidigitator, James Randi. That all say the same thing. It doesn't matter. The point is this: if you're whoever you are, that you are gifted, and you're using that gift to serve people and to help people, if it works for them, don't listen to what these stupid skeptics have to say, because that's exactly what I think of skeptics. They're kind of stupid. Okay. You know, you don't have to back a person into a corner and say, well, prove it, you know, or anything like that. Because the person that says that to me, I'll ask them to prove that they're a good human being, or even a human being. There's not really way to prove it other than have someone say that you're a human being. There are people that know that I'm a telepath. That doesn't prove anything. There are people that know that I'm pretty accurate. That doesn't prove a thing either. There are people that know that I can do certain things, but that doesn't really prove anything, does it? Doesn't. I can catch a cotton ball through a doorway, but that would just prove that I'm willing to be a clown, and I am not. So, all you skeptics, I really don't care. Look at my face. It doesn't look like I care. Okay, but for those of you that are gifted, and those of you that have a gift, and particularly those people that I was talking about that are being targeted or feel like you're being targeted, I can help you. There are ways to deal with that. It's psychic, which basically means it's my department. Okay, you can give us a call and or contact us through Unicorn Cove School of Metaphysics. That is www.unicorn-cove.com. Or you can contact us through the Ask the Unicorn site. Again, that is www.asktheunicorn.com. Or give us a call at area code 207-347-5686. I will help you out. There are ways to protect yourself psychically against such attacks. I not only believe you, I know that what you're saying is the truth. Okay, and if we can help you out before it gets too severe, and even if it is severe, if we can walk you back, because it does do some damage to you psychologically, if we can walk you backwards and repair some of the damage, we will do that. Okay, so don't be afraid, don't be ashamed, and don't be embarrassed. The whole thing is to get you to be alienated. It's just a classic psychic attack. The thing of even an astral attack is to get you alienated, to cause you to be alienated from other people, to cause you to feel alone, as if you have no recourse but to just give in. That's the whole point of it. And that's the last thing that you should do. You have to fight for yourself. Okay, and if you don't know how to fight for yourself, then you need help. You need someone that is going to be willing to show you how to fight. And that's what I do. Now, for those people that need help, I do not charge for people that need help. For those that want to take classes, yes, I do charge. And those of you that have a problem with that, again, tough. This is not my hobby. It is my profession, and I'm good at what I do. However, if you need my help, there's no charge for that. Okay, just so that you know. All right, anything else?
Yeah. Stephanie says, it was such a pleasure to watch. I need to go get in the car with my family. I will continue to watch from my phone, but not sure if I can text from there. I look forward to next week.
Awesome. I'll see you next week. Again, that is Stephanie Mostowski-Cannon, and I'm not saying your name right, Cannon. And she will be on the show next week, and we're all looking forward to it. I love Stephanie. I always have. I have for the last 20-something years. She's been my best friend, and hopefully we can continue being best friends. She's very talented and knows what she's doing. And she's going to tell you all about what she does next week. Okay, so have a good night, Steph. What time is it?
8:59.
Okay, wow. Well, that was time. Well, I'd like to thank you all for joining us on Ask the Unicorn. Please tell your friends about the show. I love answering questions. I tell people about speaking from your heart, speaking from your mind, and allowing the universe to speak. That is exactly what I do. I always tell people to come in. Listen, 99% of the time, me personally, I'm wrong. And I get lucky the other percentage of the time. However, the universe is never wrong. And I just follow what they tell me to do. Okay. So if you are gaining anything from the show, please tell your friends about it. Tell them to tune in to listen. If there are people that you know that are being targeted, please tell them to tune in. And if they have questions and they need some help, tell them help is here. I know that there are lots of people out there that I feel as though they would endanger themselves. Not on my watch. Okay. And for those of you that have paranormal and mystical questions, please tell your friends to ask them. They will receive an answer. Okay. Once again, thank you for joining us on the show. It was a great show. This was Ask the Unicorn. I'm Ahura Z. This is Kazi. See you all next week. What we do, listen. Do something beautiful for yourself, okay? And when you decide to do something beautiful for yourself, don't let someone talk you out of it. I don't care who they are. Oh, yeah. And we're hoping to open the bakery by the 20th, okay? That's Daily Bread Bakery. And we're very excited about it. We're almost ready. And for those of you that are in Maine, when we do open, please come see us, okay? Like I said, I can't end world hunger all by myself, but I could at least end hunger where I am. See you all next week. Unicorn out.